There's polite. And then there's Keanu Reeves polite. A man so classy. He can dodge bullets, heartbreak, and bad interviewers with the same calm stare. But don't let the quiet voice and humble smile fool you. Behind that peaceful demeanor is a man who's mastered the art of gracefully and hilariously outsmarting even the rudest reporters. Today we're counting down 15 times Keanu Reeves didn't just shut down arrogant interviewers. He did it with charm, class, and a touch of genius. 1. Are you still sad about your ex? During a press tour for one of his films, a reporter crossed a line that few dare to.
I can't connect with someone like this.
Instead of sticking to the usual promotional questions, they dove into Keanu Reeves' personal life. Specifically, the tragic loss of his girlfriend, Jennifer Syme, who died in a car accident in 2001. The question was blunt, almost cold. Are you still sad about your ex?
When you love something, you always have a little bit more.
For a moment, the atmosphere shifted. Anyone else might have shut it down, snapped back, or walked out. But Keanu didn't flinch. With calm eyes and a quiet voice, he said, "Grief doesn't go away. It changes shape." It was more than just a response. It was a lesson in empathy. The room fell silent, not from awkwardness, but from the weight of wisdom. Keanu didn't scold the reporter. He didn't make a scene. Instead, he transformed a moment of insensitivity into something profoundly human. He reminded everyone that pain doesn't disappear. It evolves. It lingers in new forms, quietly shaping who we become. That simple sentence said more than 1,000 interviews ever could. It was Keanu being Keanu, honest, vulnerable, and endlessly graceful in the face of discomfort. 2. The "you're not funny" comment. In the middle of a lighthearted TV interview, the host tried to get a cheap laugh at Keanu's expense. With a smirk, they threw out the line, "You're not exactly known for being funny, are you?" It was meant to be a joke, but it landed more like a jab. The audience chuckled awkwardly, unsure whether to laugh or cringe. But Keanu, he didn't miss a beat. With perfect timing, he smiled and replied, "I try not to take myself too seriously, except when I do." Then came the grin, dry, witty, and effortlessly cool. That one-liner flipped the entire room. The host was left chuckling nervously, clearly unsure if Keanu had just roasted him back or simply floated above the insult. That's Keanu's genius. He doesn't attack, he disarms. Instead of defending himself or pretending to be someone he's not, Keanu leaned into the moment with understated charm. He didn't need to prove he was funny. His timing, delivery, and self-awareness said it all. It was classic Keanu, taking a jab, turning it into a gem, and leaving everyone thinking, okay, maybe he is funny after all. 3. You're too old for action films now. During a press event, a journalist decided to take a not-so-subtle jab at Keanu's age. With a smug tone, they asked, "Don't you think you're a little old to still be playing action heroes?" It was the kind of loaded question meant to make headlines, part insult, part challenge, and completely dismissive of his decades-long career. But Keanu, as always, didn't take the bait. He calmly smiled and replied, "They keep hiring me, so I keep showing up." 6 words. That's all it took. The best part? He didn't just say it, he proved it. Whether he's dodging bullets in The Matrix or taking out entire armies in John Wick, Keanu continues to dominate action cinema with grit, grace, and yes, plenty of stamina. So next time someone questions his age, remember, legends don't retire, they just reload. 4. When they tried to flirt with him and failed. During a promotional junket, one reporter seemed more interested in Keanu the heartthrob than Keanu the actor. She skipped the usual film questions and went straight into awkward territory, asking, "So, what's your type? And would you ever date a fan?" Her tone was playful, even a little flirtatious, maybe hoping to catch him off guard or stir up some viral headline. But Keanu, unshaken. He smiled gently and replied, "I think I'm a fan of privacy." No sass, no sarcasm. Just a respectful boundary drawn with absolute grace. It wasn't a shutdown, it was a masterclass in poise. He didn't shame her, but he also didn't indulge her. Keanu kept it classy, reminding everyone why he's in a league of his own. He isn't here for clickbait. He's here for the work, the art, and maybe a few motorcycles in between smooth, silent, bulletproof. 5. Why do you talk so slow? In one high-energy interview, the host, clearly running on caffeine and chaos, grew impatient with Keanu's calm, measured way of speaking. With a smirk, he blurted out, "Why do you talk so slow?" Now, anyone else might have gotten flustered or defensive. But Keanu, he just smiled and replied, "Because I like to think before I speak." Boom. The audience laughed, but the host? Yeah, he felt that one. And he should. It was the perfect counterpunch. Gentle, but devastating. In just a few words, Keanu exposed the real issue. Some people talk fast to say nothing at all, while others speak slow to say something that matters. In a world of noise, Keanu's silence speaks volumes. 6. Do you even like acting? In a podcast that clearly wanted a gotcha moment, the host tried to provoke Keanu with a not-so-subtle insult. After tossing around words like robotic and emotionless, they bluntly asked, "Do you even like acting?" You could hear the smirk in their voice, as if expecting Keanu to get flustered or defensive. But Keanu didn't blink. He paused, offered a calm smile, and replied, "I love storytelling. That's what acting is. It's not about me, it's about the story." And just like that, he turned a jab into something thoughtful, almost philosophical. What was meant to corner him instead became a reminder of why people respect him so deeply. Keanu doesn't act flashy, he acts to connect. He respects the craft, the character, and the story more than he does the spotlight. The host wanted to mock his style, but Keanu responded with such depth and humility, it felt more like a TED Talk than a defense. It wasn't just classy, it was enlightening. 7. You're just playing yourself in every role. A snarky film critic once tossed out the cliche criticism, Keanu Reeves only plays one character. It's the kind of thing that's been said by people who clearly haven't watched My Own Private Idaho, The Devil's Advocate, or 47 Ronin. But sure, let's pretend Neo and John Wick are the same guy. Keanu's response: "I guess I'm lucky that character's still getting work." And that, right there, is poetic judo. Instead of arguing or listing his range, Keanu leaned into the comment with disarming self-awareness. He didn't just brush it off, he owned it. Because here's the truth, even if Keanu was just playing himself, people love that character. Studios keep calling, audiences keep cheering. And if being authentically Keanu is what works, then that's more range than most actors ever find. That comeback, shade, humility, and wisdom, served, chilled. 8. You're not as talented as other stars. At a glitzy red carpet event, filled with flashing cameras and forced smiles, one reporter tried to stir the pot. Comparing Keanu to a list of Hollywood heavyweights, the reporter asked, "Don't you think you're not quite as talented as some of your peers?" Most celebrities might have walked away, or delivered a fiery comeback. Keanu, he just smiled and said, "I think everyone brings something different. That's what makes it fun." No ego, no defensiveness, just a calm, grounded reminder that art isn't a competition. Keanu didn't need to flex awards or filmographies. He let grace speak louder than words. It was the verbal version of taking the high road in slow motion, and still looking cool while doing it. 9. The sad Keanu meme. Question: when the sad Keanu meme took the internet by storm, showing him eating a sandwich alone on a bench, the world laughed, some out of humor, others out of sympathy. Eventually, an interviewer asked him if it bothered him. Keanu's response: "It's funny. I like that people find joy in it. I just hope they're okay too." Only Keanu could flip a meme into a moment of compassion. Instead of being embarrassed or annoyed, he embraced it, and then worried about the people laughing at him. That's the level of emotional depth we're talking about. Where others might see mockery, Keanu sees humanity. He's not just unfazed, he's empathetic to a fault. 10. Why don't you talk about your money? Keanu Reeves is famously generous, rumored to have donated millions to hospitals, stunt teams, and cancer research. But unlike many stars, he doesn't broadcast it. So when a journalist once pressed him about those quiet donations, asking, "Why don't you talk about your money?" Keanu gave a soft but firm reply: "Because it's not about me." Boom. That's humility in its purest form. No humble brag, no PR spin. Just a man who believes kindness should be silent and meaningful. Keanu doesn't use charity for applause. He gives because it matters, and that might be the most powerful flex of all. 11. Aren't you too private for Hollywood? In an interview that felt more like an interrogation, the host kept pushing Keanu to spill on his love life, friendships, and off-screen habits. At one point, they threw out a snide remark: "You're too private for this industry." Keanu just chuckled and said, "That's probably why I've lasted this long. Touché." With one line, he flipped the narrative. In an age where oversharing is currency, Keanu's privacy is his power. He's not hiding, he's preserving what's real. And it turns out, mystery never goes out of style. 12th, your characters are always lonely. Coincidence? A film blogger, clearly aiming for a headline, asked Keanu if the recurring theme of loneliness in his roles, Neo, John Wick, even Constantine, was intentional or just a reflection of your personal life. Keanu didn't blink. He calmly responded, "Sometimes solitude makes room for meaning." I like that. Mike, philosophy, drop. He didn't dodge the question. He elevated it. Keanu turned a potential insult into something poetic, because while others run from loneliness, he finds depth in it. It's not emptiness, it's space to feel something real. 13. The talk show awkwardness. On a late-night show, the host tried to get laughs at Keanu's expense, poking fun at his calm demeanor and quiet presence. "You always seem socially awkward," they joked. Keanu, unfazed, simply smiled and replied, "Maybe I just don't like fake laughter." And just like that, the audience laughed. For real. He didn't throw shade. He didn't play along. He just spoke the truth, and the crowd knew it. Sometimes the coolest guy in the room is the one not trying to prove anything. 14. You're a bit of a mystery. In yet another interview full of awkward questions, the host kept calling Keanu weird, quiet, and a bit of a mystery. They said it like it was a flaw. Keanu didn't flinch. He softly replied, "Mystery is underrated. That's it. No need to explain himself. No need to crack under the pressure of being relatable." In a world where everyone's shouting to be seen, Keanu's calm silence is louder than any noise. 15. You never fight back. Why? During a viral Q&A, a fan finally asked what we've all been wondering. Why don't you ever fight back when people are rude to you? Keanu paused, then delivered a line so profound it should be carved into stone. Because being angry at someone else is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. No drama, no ego, just timeless wisdom. Keanu doesn't clap back, he transcends. He knows that protecting your peace is more powerful than winning a petty battle. And in a world obsessed with vengeance, he reminds us, real strength is choosing not to strike. Keanu Reeves isn't just an actor. He's a master at emotional intelligence, turning shade into light and awkward interviews into life lessons. He doesn't need to win arguments because he's already winning at being human. And maybe that's why fans adore him. Not for the stunts, the suits, or the slow-motion gun fu, but for the way he handles the world with quiet power and unmatched grace. Because while others clap back, Keanu levels up.